moment, I can see it. Streaming the truth live from where they decree it. Sylvia speaks, no filter, no buffer. Courtroom drama couldn't get any tougher.
When the gavel's first bang, to the witness stands tears. Sylvia's lens captures all your hopes and fears. Uploading justice one trial at a time. Tune in every moment, edges sublime.
Welcome to the Sylvia Show, oh yeah. She's got the inside scoop, don't you care? With every verdict, the suspense does grow. So hit subscribe, let's start the show. Welcome to the Sylvia Show, oh yeah. She's got the inside scoop, don't you care? With every verdict, the suspense does grow. So hit subscribe, let's start the show. Faces turn stories, the courtroom can't hide. Sylvia's insights cut through the divide. From jury talks to the lawyer's secret. In Sylvia's world, you know you'll need it. Behind the scenes where whispers are loud, her lens reveals the truth in the crowd. Courtroom secrets laid bare to see. Stay curious with Sylvia Spree. Every objection, every sharp retort, Sylvia's there to give you the report. Exclusive footage no one else can snag. From catchy headlines straight to the tag. Welcome to the Sylvia Show, oh yeah. She's got the inside scoop, don't you care? With every verdict, the suspense does grow. So hit subscribe, let's start the show. Welcome to the Sylvia Show, oh yeah. She's got the inside scoop, don't you care? With every verdict, the suspense does grow. So hit subscribe, let's start the show.
Faces tell.
Hey everybody. Hello, 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 hello. Hi guys. I know I feel it looks like I'm falling. I'm trying to make sure I show my my troll in the back. My troll. Trying to make sure I show them back the troll. Okay, here we go. Hey guys, hello everybody. Hello, 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 hello. All right, I know you guys are detoxing from the trial, and some of you guys are having withdrawal symptoms. And I said, let me go ahead on and give them something so they can have something to watch. Hold on a second. Let me just make sure I have my my mic. Got my mic on. Hold on a second. Let me just make sure it's my mic and not this computer here. Hold on a second. Testing, 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 testing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Testing, testing, testing. Can you guys hear the mic? Can you hear the mic? Tell me if you can hear the mic. I gotta put it up to my face. Okay, you can hear me. Okay, great, 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 great. All right. You guys know court starts back tomorrow. And loud and clear. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Sounds like I'm whispering. So you don't hear it loud enough? Hold on a sec. Let me see something. Does it still sound like I'm whispering? Does it sound like I'm whispering? Does it sound like I'm whispering? Does it? It's loud and clear? Okay. Because I have my mic right here in front of me. See the mic? See the mic? I have it in front of me. I got my stuff. Okay, loud and clear. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Okay. Good, 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 good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. What I was saying is that oh, okay. I know you guys have some withdrawal going on right now with the YSL. So I said, let me go ahead on and give you some stuff to think about coming up. Well, you guys know this possibly may be the last week for YSL stateside. This may be the last week. We're saying maybe because we're anticipating this is going to be the last, and the state is going to rest. But you never know. We never know. Things might change and things might be a little bit different. So, but in the meantime, this is supposed to be the last week, and then the state will rest. Then the defense will come up and there will be their case in chief. So we'll just see how it plays, um, and then we'll go on from there. Yesterday I talked to you guys about a potential witness that's supposed to be coming on. And that witness is Mr. Stillwell's ex. And we had some discussion. And then I had my secretary, CMT. We were working on trying to see why is she coming up? What is the purpose of her coming out? And it came out that there are some things that they could not bring out because Thorpe cannot bring it out. Because remember, the judge only allowed Thorpe to say certain things and then had to leave, right? So they're bringing her to bring out some situations. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to play and then I'm going to explain it to you guys, some of the stuff that CMT and I got together and talked about it. That wasn't a hit put on her, Dominique. That wasn't a hit. Somebody basically was trying to rob her. That wasn't a hit. That was not a hit. If you heard that, that was a hit. That's incorrect. Yes, incorrect. It was not a hit placed on her. Folks will just make up stuff, right? They'll make up stuff. No, they were trying to rob her. They were trying to rob her. I have her case in those girls, they still have not gone to court yet, and I'm going to be covering that case as well because they was charged with it, and even though she wasn't playing with them. But I do have that video too with you from the actual ring camera of when it happened. Okay. All right. So it was never a hit placed on her. It was never a hit placed on her. It was someone trying to rob her. You said she said it on an interview in Shade Room? She said something different to me. Oh, she said it felt like, okay. Thank you, Michelle, for clarifying that. She says she felt there was a hit put on her. Okay. All right. All right. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you. But you guys know, I've been in the courtroom and I have had conversations with her when it happened. We were talking about it, and she gave me the case number, and we've been waiting for that trial to start. It still has not started yet. So, but she's keeping me abreast of when that case is supposed to start. Okay. All right. So let me go ahead on and play this, and then we can talk about it in between. And but the purpose, I believe, this is speculation. Let me go ahead and put my disclaimer up because to make sure people understand where I'm coming from. All right. This is just us speculating and okay, hold on a second. Okay, disclaimer. I, infamous Sylvia, am part of New Media, a trial vlogger who reports facts with an entertainment undertone. Okay? With an entertainment undertone. And right now we're going to take a look at some of the hearing that happened. The previous hearing. This one here is from October the 11th. And listen to what this is during the time when they were watching the video of the high speed chase. And we're going to talk about it, okay?
All right, what's next then? Are you ready, Mr. Shard, on whatever it is that y'all were?
So Miss Hilton was kind enough to send a sheet with different body cam and videos that they sought to use.
Yes.
And I have reviewed them and I'm ready to discuss them. The only on some of the videos there it obviously affects everyone, but these videos are involving Mr. Stillwell and Mr. Nichols and the arrest of Mr. Stillwell and Mr. Nichols.
Mhm.
I know that Mr. Harvey had indicated that he had some objections.
I thought Mr. Harvey was supposed to be here today, so.
So and I'm not trying to draw the ire of the court or Mr. Harvey. I'm just saying that I'm prepared to discuss the matters, but I am not speaking on behalf of Mr. Harvey.
Okay, well, sorry. Who is representing Mr. Nichols' interests today?
I am Your Honor, Lamar Gardner. Mr.
Gardner
Gardner.
with a G?
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Harvey is actually in federal court this morning at a funeral this
Oh.
afternoon.
What, federal court this morning and a funeral this afternoon? Is that what you said?
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, he didn't ask to be excused, which is fine as long as there's somebody here, but are you ready to proceed on these body cams?
I'm not, Your Honor.
Well, I mean, y'all may just not get the chance to do it then. Because we had plenty of advance notice that what today was gonna cover. All right, so let's go. Why is somebody from each table not leaving?
I was waiting, but I can go out first.
I don't care which of you goes, but. All right, what link or whatever should I be looking at for this tranche?
I am going, I think I go off the discovery as a serve, so I think Mr. Atkins could better answer what Dropbox this stuff is in. But, just to take a couple things off the table,
Yeah,
the state has indicated that they plan to use surveillance video from the FedEx. Well, okay, I'll start with the BP. From the BP, which shows Mr. Drinks and other individuals shortly before the shooting on Windsor Street.
okay.
It's surveillance video. There's nothing there's nothing misleading about it. So I don't have any objection to that. It
Just listen
kinda
to
is
what's
what it is. It
about
shows
to
the
happen, guys,
surveillance
okay?
Of
Just
that
listen.
store.
This is something that
There's
you
also
guys will get
surveillance
first from here.
The liquor store, which is an adjoining building to the BP. Don't have any issue with that.
Okay.
There's surveillance from the FedEx building on Windsor Street. Don't have any issue with that.
This is going to give you a little insight of what's
And
going to
there's-
happen this week.
They're
Okay.
all short, and I don't have any objection to them. And there's no audio on any of them
Okay.
either. So once we take those off the table, we have a helicopter,
Okay.
a
Listen
video
to this.
from the helicopter, APD Phoenix video. Now the video, Ms. Hilton identified as helicopter camera.ts. When I found it in my discovery, it didn't quite say that, but I'm fairly certain we're talking about the same video. It's what we've deemed the slow speed chase of the
Okay.
white.
Okay. Now listen carefully what he is saying and what is being brought out in this video. And this is why his ex is coming to the hearing. I mean to the trial tomorrow.
Audi, is that correct? That's the helicopter video we're talking about?
Yes, Your Honor. And to answer the course, an original question, if we go to the witness 53 to 100
Okay.
Dropbox, these videos are contained within certain witnesses to make easy so we all know what we're referencing. And then I thought I had copied the court, but I will forward to Ms.
And you
Person.
probably did. I just.
And
get
I'm looking, I may not
so
have.
many emails.
I will forward to Ms. Percival now. I have sent defense counsel a chart essentially with some relevant timestamps and the
Okay.
videos. And so I'll forward that so we can kind of go along
Okay,
so you can see.
great.
This. I'll forward that now.
All right. So let me.
Look at them smiling in the back.
And I don't think I sent it to the court because it was 2:00 in the evening.
Okay, you heard.
I've got 51 through whatever it is, 103 up. So you'll just have to tell me which folder within each of them.
So this specific video that Mr. Shard is speaking of should be in Sergeant Newman's folder.
Do you know the number, the
Newman.
folder number? I have them in here by, I mean,
He will be towards the end, and Sergeant Newman is folder 83.
okay. Oh, apparently it has to download,
Mm-mm.
which might take forever. So,
I can share the video.
oh no, here it is.
Ms. Hilton.
Yes.
Okay, and is this, so there are 5 different clips?
So
in
it'll be
here?
the helicopter_camera.ts.
Dot.
Okay.
It's the last.
None of them are labeled that. It's just helicopter camera.
And I'm sorry, I don't know why it says. If you go, are you in the Sergeant Newman folder?
Uh-huh.
Does it open up and say Phoenix Helicopter Officer Matt Peterson? Yeah.
Yes.
Once you
and
open
then
that folder?
Within there, there's clip 41516171 and then one that's not labeled.
Well, on mine it says helicopter_camera.ts, so it should. be
Okay,
that
well,
one.
there's no .ts, but, I file type TS. Okay, so that's the one I need to be looking at.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm clicking and nothing is happening. There it goes. Okay.
Mr. Atkins originally sent this Dropbox link on August 30th, and then I resent it on September 12th.
Well, so far all it's doing is making me dizzy.
Oh, you were able to open
She
it?
said it's making her dizzy.
Watching it. I mean, it's helicopter view. I feel like I'm in a video game right now.
I feel like she's in the video game.
Does it get to something relevant at some point?
It does. It
Okay.
begins the.
When you play it at trial, assuming that it is ruled in, can we skip the part that where they're just flying above the city?
Well,
I mean,
what
they might be looking for something, but they certainly haven't found anything yet.
they're just trying to orient themselves to the location. So when you're listening, they're on the traffic.
Oh, am I supposed to
orienting
be hearing something?
Yes, there should be some audio.
This is gonna frustrate the judge because she's gonna like, okay, can we
Well,
just
Excuse me, Your Honor, may I step out for just a minute? Mr. Adams will-
Okay.
Melissa, this is the video that they're trying to bring in, and they need
am I supposed to be hearing something?
You should be.
Oh.
And I can publish it so you can hear, or
Why don't you? Because I'm not hearing anything.
and I don't know if there's I don't know if we need to watch the entire video, so I don't know what Mr. Shar's objection is, because we might be able to get to that point.
Okay, so with that video,
Hang on, is this a 12-minute video?
It is, but it captures
Or
the
or
entirety.
more than that?
She said
13,
12 minutes. Oh, Lord.
13 minutes and 40 seconds. Okay, and what's the objection?
Cumulative. Let me stop.
my
I'm just joking.
objection is.
I'm looking for the timestamp. I have it on a piece of paper here, but I think it's 10:05.
Okay,
The person in the
He's giving up
helicopter,
the answers, y'all,
says-
to our questions.
they or Shannon is armed, consider them armed and dangerous or armed and dangerous. And we don't think that is appropriate. Also at the very end of the video, I think the state is of the belief that, I'll just say one of the two individuals threw a bag into a bush.
okay.
Okay, you
And
heard that, right? The
there's
bag into the bush.
commentary from the helicopter pilot about a bag in the bush. Now, if I understand if the helicopter pilot saw it and he testifies that I saw someone wearing whatever throw a bag in the bush, then that's fine. But I don't think we need the commentary on the out of court commentary on top of the video. And that's at the very end.
We had a
So what part of this do you want to show? So who's chasing who?
So the police, so this video, so to orient the court, is on March 17th, 2022. This is 3 days after the Drinks homicide.
Okay,
Investigator, one of the gang investigators is at the Chick-fil-A on Cleveland Avenue. This car is a suspect vehicle at this point,
okay.
and
Which is the white Audi?
the white Audi is a
Uh-huh.
suspect vehicle. And while at the
So they're trying to connect the Drinks unaliving to this supposedly gun that was thrown out of the vehicle at the time of the chase. So they're trying to find a way to bring this in, but I got more to tell you about that. Okay, hold on. Let me just finish.
Chick-fil-A, the investigator's getting his lunch, maybe Mr. Stillwell, they're getting their food, and that begins a low-speed, high-speed chase. When the helicopters start going, Mr. Stillwell gets out of the parking lot. He does not get his food, and they go on a chase. He goes up the wrong way up streets, and he eventually gets to a home where he runs into
Yeah.
a yard. He throws his phone away. We're able to subsequently apprehend that phone. They
See?
throw this bag of drugs away that's seen from the helicopter. They throw a book bag away that's seen from the helicopter. That book bag is subsequently recovered. It has drugs inside of the book bag. And so this is evidence of that interaction.
Okay, so the Audi is at the Chick-fil-A,
Yes.
and then
This is the
a
same Audi
law
that was
enforcement
rented, y'all.
officer
An
is
under-
at the Chick-fil-A?
An undercover law enforcement officer is
Okay, and
behind-
then does that car start following the Audi or just the helicopter?
the helicopter and other cars. We have a trooper that follows. All is
When
not-
does it start? And
It's-
when do we start seeing
the
Yeah, they
chase
recovered
begins-
it, Miss K.
the Audi?
You'll see
This
it.
helicopter has been flying for 2 minutes and 16 seconds now.
Yes, Your Honor, because
All right, Phoenix, we got our mapping system up. We can,
if you listen to the radio, what the officer who sees the car, he's giving Phoenix information. Here, he's giving
Phoenix being the
the
helicopter
helicopter
from
along-
the outset.
from the outset. So what happens is the reason why the helicopter is orienting himself, the helicopter was at the airport, which is where it's housed,
Okay.
and they are.
So can we, the part before, do we need that? Like, or,
We can start it at the Chick-fil-A because that is the
Okay.
relevant
okay.
portion and play it into.
And that's at minute what? 2-ish?
It's about probably where I am at 1 minute and 15
Call it.
seconds.
Well, actually, yeah, about a minute. It looks like maybe that's-
Yes, because what it's showing is that they're focusing on finding the target vehicle and getting ready to be able to assist the officers on the ground with where the car is going.
Okay, and then how long does this, it's not, I mean, y'all are saying a slow speed chase. It's cars following the Audi. And how long does that go on?
The 13 minutes, that is the entire.
Do we need 13 minutes of that, or can it
Yes,
just
'cause you
be at
see different-
minute 1, they start following, and then here's when something actually happens?
Your Honor, let me reevaluate that. I think that
Okay.
the entirety is
'Cause, I mean,
important.
honestly.
Of what happens in this entire interaction, we will look at it and get back to court, but we believe that the entire thing is relevant. At 10:05.
Well, it might be relevant, but it might also be a waste of time
Uh-oh.
You're right, and we
to
will look at
watch cars kind of just following each other down
it.
roads for,
Mr. Stillwell goes in the goes in the opposite side of traffic. There's a number of different things that.
well,
occur.
then pick out those parts and show those and condense it.
Your
okay.
Honor. Yes.
Okay, so get back to us with a much condensed version of this.
So in Your Honor, I agree with the court that a lot of this seems to be unnecessary to the extent that you're
Oh,
saying.
do
that.
you want all 13 minutes in?
I don't,
Okay.
but the reason I'm not jumping up and down about it is
Well,
there's nothing egregious that my
that's
client.
fine, but
does.
we've got to find some places to cut some time. And if there's nothing being shown other than the cars driving down the highway, I get if they're taking evasive action, fine, show that. But the stuff that's just, we're driving, we can just skip that and get to the points that are more relevant.
Okay. Your Honor.
And so, Your Honor, to the extent that whatever the video that's played, I do want to discuss the audio briefly.
Listen to
I
them.
know,
All right.
I feel like
So I agree that he's considered armed and dangerous, needs to be
and
redacted. What
that's,
else?
that's from 10:05 to 10:10.
Okay.
And then from 12:35 to 12:40, there's a commentary about the throwing of the bag. Again, I
Is-
get it. If
Is
if
the
you-
helicopter pilot going to testify?
Yes.
Okay.
And so.
You
and
hear
I believe
that?
We litigated. I
He's gonna
thought we litigated
testify.
that portion
The
of it
helicopter pilot.
previously, but maybe it was just the drugs in the bag.
All right. So you'll redact that and he'll just testify to it, or it'll be on here and he won't testify to it.
It'll be
One
on
or
here.
the
He
other.
won't testify to it.
Now, I will say,
Okay.
because I'm trying to protect my colleagues' interests as well. Mr. Harvey, in our discussions, his stance is that none of the audio should come in because it just doesn't serve any purpose.
Okay. And
Yes,
what would
Alley
the purpose
Cat.
of the audio be?
They're trying to tie it to that.
Your Honor, so in the audio, the Phoenix sergeant or the sergeant piloting the plane is telling the individuals where to go, how to find where essentially the cars are because they're behind. So
Right.
that is the
Okay.
purpose of the audio, Your Honor.
But I mean, we can see from the video that they are able to follow. So, I mean, you can ask him and were you?
I
you know-
wasn't planning on having him narrate through while he was on the stand, so I was just going to have him play the video and as opposed to having him narrate.
Okay, why does it matter if the helicopter sergeant was the one who was able to direct you know, oh, he's turning left or whatever. Is it just things like that?
It is.
Okay, that's unnecessary.
She said it's
And he
unnecessary.
could just say in one sentence, you know, I had a great vantage point, an eagle eye view, and I was able to direct them
Sure.
if you want him to say something like that.
Okay.
All right, what else?
So
There is a video of I believe it's dash cam of Trooper Mark Campbell. I cannot get that. Mark Campbell, Trooper Campbell, my understanding is the person who located a firearm that the state is attributing to
Okay, this is it.
my client and Mr. Nichols. And I've seen this video, but I can't get it to play on my computer.
Okay.
I don't think it's that long. I was wondering if we could just play that in court and just all
Okay.
be on the same page.
I
All right.
couldn't, I told Mr. Sharp last night, I was having difficulty getting it played as well. So I may need to go back to the,
Where
back
we
to the
pulled it
trooper
from
where we got
originally.
it to figure out why we can't play it anymore. Cause I was having some difficulty as well.
All right.
But
So
I
now
will be
and they can't
Tag
play it.
that as something we need to circle back to, please.
Can't
What
play
would
that.
we be labeling that? This is who?
That is Trooper Campbell's.
Okay. Campbell.
Yes, and it's in
All
his
right.
folder.
Okay. What I'm talking
Do you want me
about
to
is gonna
see if
come up in a
it'll-
few
Do
minutes.
you know what
okay?
number Mr. or Trooper Campbell is?
Yes, he is.
Okay, I'm gonna move up a little bit. I'm gonna move up a little bit on this
82.
video because this is the boring part. There's a spot that I need you guys to listen to. Okay.
Wednesday, I think. With the Verizon text messages in the color.
Oh, I gotta go
Other
back. I go
Verizon
back.
text-
Hold on. I gotta go back.
All of the body cam video regarding the drinks case. Is that
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Super.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say it was boring. Okay. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna let it play. You guys listen to it, and I'll come back and tell you, give you a little bit commentary on it. Okay.
All right, Ms. Hilton, what else do we need to still consider the admissibility of? Is that, have we covered
I
everything?
think so. The only other things that I can think of, and I need to get Mr. Atkins, is the follow-up questions we had from the wiretap. I
Okay.
think we had those 3 or 4 audios we had to revisit today.
Oh, right.
I believe, and if I didn't, I will. I did edit the demonstrative that we talked about regarding the phone records, and I sent that. I believe I sent it, and I'll just double check that I actually sent it, but if not, I will, regarding the text messages that we discussed on Wednesday, I think. With the Verizon text messages and the color of the Verizon text messages, what the demonstrative would look like. I believe I sent, I'm going to double check. If
Okay.
not, I will get that to defense counsel.
Okay.
I believe that, yeah.
Your Honor.
Yes.
There's also some of the arrest at Mr. Williams' home on May 9th, 2022. There are 3 drone
Okay.
that the video, I don't believe audio, that the prosecution wishes to introduce.
All right. And is there objection to them?
Yes.
This was this the one that y'all had sent the email at the end of the day about?
Yes.
All right. I thought y'all were saying like they're not particularly prejudicial, but they're also not particularly probative. And I actually took from that, y'all didn't care, but are you making an objection?
Yes. I mean,
Okay.
unless we have the wrong times or something, it would be a 403. It's just,
And
there's
we're,
nothing.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Sorry. There's nothing there. It's a
Okay.
drone sitting and looking at a
Very
couch.
little probativity. Okay.
And there are certain portions of that drone video, so we'll look at it, we'll consolidate it, and we'll send it back over to defense. What we plan on using and see if there's still an objection.
Okay.
Well, they can't use that
So
anymore.
we're-
Jeffrey's not on.
That they try to shorten
It-
it to
it-
whatever might be relevant?
It works just fine, but why make us watch 45 minutes of video where
I don't know.
one of the videos was 15 minutes of a drone sitting on the floor, but we had to watch the whole thing to make sure there wasn't anything
I-
else there. I would just ask for more I mean, they've been great, but more consideration in the future on that.
Can
We
y'all
will-
try to think through? I mean, it should come as no surprise that both the defense and the court would prefer, and I'm not doing it because the defense prefers it. The court would prefer it for these poor jurors who've been here for 9 months already, that things be as streamlined and concise as possible.
That is the plan, Your Honor.
Okay, and I know that y'all's universe of evidence is almost boundless, but try to do the best you can to, before we're in court trying to evaluate admissibility, have gotten it already down to what you think is actually relevant.
Yeah. This was a
Yes,
month ago.
Okay.
A month
They'll get
today,
back to
exactly
you
a
on
month ago.
that, and then y'all can let me know if there continues to be an objection, in which case I will look at the smaller window of video and rule on it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. So, I don't know if that's
Hi, OG. Thrill.
Mr. Shart. I had a note that said Stillwell cell phone search.
Okay, there it is.
Something we have yet to deal with.
And you're right, we have not dealt with
Sadly-
it.
Yeah, sadly, the search and seizure aspect of it has been litigated. and
Okay.
I did not win those arguments.
Okay.
But the contents that the state is seeking to admit, I'm still waiting on the specific pictures, text, whatever they plan on using for my client's phone.
Y'all don't have that yet.
I have the contents of
have
the
the-
phone.
The entirety of it. You don't have what they've narrowed it down to.
Correct.
Have y'all
Yeah.
narrowed it down?
We have a few other colleagues are working on that, so we will be able to get that to Mr. Sharp by next week, Your Honor.
Okay, so I don't yet know when our next non-jury days are going to be. And I mean, hopefully we have enough to carry us through 5, but if we don't, it's going to greatly perturb the court that has not been provided in a more narrow form yet.
I will reach out to the individuals who are working on that right now, Your Honor.
Okay, do that.
Okay, do that.
All right, so there were a couple of things that we had looked at yesterday, but then we're going to come back to. So maybe we can come back to them.
Okay.
And I'll give you
I'm
a
like,
minute to
I'm itching because
send
I
the
want to,
message,
Thank you,
since
Your
I know
Honor.
you're the only person for the state in here right now.
Okay.
That's that door, that squeaking door, y'all.
I'm ready. I think
Okay.
One of those, I'm ready, Your Honor.
Good. Okay. So, y'all were gonna look and see whether, or the gun that, let me start over. On witness Mary Furlow Lewis, or around there, Mr. Zachary's gun matched these cases, and I had wanted casings, and I wanted to know if there was evidence that he had possession of that gun at the time that this September 30th shooting occurred.
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Love was looking into it. I'm confirming now and see if she was able to get the information. So that's what I am waiting for now for a response.
Okay. I had, if y'all are going to call Tariq's sister, you need to get that information to the defense.
We are going to be. Just want to confirm that's one.
They're still not prepared, y'all. It's a month later.
We will
and they
not be
still-
presenting that incident.
No? Okay.
No.
Well, I mean, it was around
It was
witness number 44,
43 and 44.
43, 44. So does that mean,
We're
what
not-
won't you be presenting?
We're not presenting that incident at all.
Okay.
And the incident above that, 41 and 42, we won't be presenting at all.
All right. We've just saved ourselves 2 hours.
She said we saved
Um,
ourselves 2 hours.
Okay. On number 63, Officer Greer, there was a question about relevance of Huey having given 2 fake names before his real name.
This was on
date of birth,
October the
and then
11th.
I
when
don't
they-
know why we were coming back to that.
October
but
11th.
Yes,
for-
Judge.
why were we coming back? to
Well,
that?
yeah, that was why we were coming back to that.
Okay.
So Judge, Mr. Huey was arrested on the date that's indicated on this document.
Yeah.
There's an allegation that he gave these 2 fake names and then eventually admitted his real name.
Uh-huh.
So he's not charged with any of these allegations of giving a false name or anything of that nature as a count. It's
Uh-huh.
not alleged as an overt act. We haven't heard any argument that it's somehow intrinsic. So I don't think that it should come in on a basis of relevance. I think that there is a 403 argument to be made with respect to prejudice, character, and there should be I'm arguing character as well. So relevance, 403, and character would be my bases for asking this court to exclude any mention of Mr. Huey having provided a fake name and then eventually gave his real name and date of birth.
All right. What's the state's response?
Yes, Your Honor, we believe that is very relevant. This is approximately 1 month after the armed robbery that Mr. Huey is alleged to have committed in April of 2019.
Mhm.
And given that when he is stopped and asked initially what his name is, he tries to hide that information. The state decided not to charge him, but it is important that he decided to first not reveal who he was because there was a warrant out for his arrest, and hence he was arrested after he gave his name.
Okay.
So, Your Honor, my response would be that the state isn't able to establish that on this particular date that Mr. Huey knew that he had an armed robbery arrest warrant pending. So that would be totally speculative that, oh, he gave a false name because he had an armed robbery warrant. Unfortunately, sometimes people give false names for various reasons. Sometimes they just give a false name.
Yeah, but one of them could be consciousness of guilt. So I am going to admit that over objection. All right, so that takes care of that one. And let's see. Number 68, Sergeant Henderson.
Yes, Your Honor, we were discussing what exactly he would testify to as it related to the the October 2020 armed robbery. As we stated yesterday, Sergeant Henderson not only investigated the October armed robbery, but he also investigated the April 2019 armed robbery involving Mr. Huey. As it relates to the October armed robbery, he will talk about Mr. Huey had a phone that day as well. He received consent to search that phone. The day that Sergeant Henderson interviewed Mr. Huey, he obtained his phone, was able to go inside of his phone. That phone we will be seeking to admit that cell phone into evidence and contents of that cell phone into evidence. And so those are some of the items that he will testify to. I think the question is, what else would he testify to besides speaking with Mr. Holloman? So those are just some of the other items that he will be testifying to as it relates to the incident that occurred in October of 2020.
So, Your Honor, in response, Sergeant Henderson interviewed Mr. Holloman, and the court has already excluded on the basis of confrontation clause and Mr. Holloman not being here with us. So an interview, photographic lineup process, that's
Right.
all already been excluded
Right.
and kept out. The other issue is that in the document here before us, the state is indicating that he's going to testify to, quote, similarities in an April 2019 robbery. And it says with Fleetwood. There's been no evidence that I'm aware of where Mr. Fleetwood was charged with an April 2019 armed robbery. So similarities and things of that nature, I think that that's going to create a 404, maybe a 404B argument that we haven't received notice on. Not sure how this Fleetwood person is going to be injected into this discussion with Sergeant Henderson in terms of testimony. And they indicated they were 4 days apart. So I'm going to object on that on the grounds of relevance. There's been no proffer, no showing that a 4-day alleged armed robbery with Fleetwood is somehow similar. So I'm not clear what their basis is going to be for attempting to introduce some extraneous alleged armed robbery with a Mr. Fleetwood.
And when we say robbery with Mr. Fleetwood, do we mean Mr. Fleetwood participated as a co-perpetrator, or Mr. Fleetwood was the victim?
So, Your Honor, Act 85 and 86 and 87 are an April 22nd, 2019 armed robbery in which Javon Fleetwood is a defendant who is a YSL co-conspirator. In that April 22nd, 2019 armed robbery, Mr. Fleetwood is alleged to have robbed an individual in the Jonesboro South area. The way that Mr. Fleetwood gets to that armed robbery location is in a black Mustang. That black Mustang is what's going to be the relevant piece of information. Mr. Fleetwood gets out of that black Mustang, out of the passenger side of that vehicle, goes inside of a building, robs an individual, and steals his car. 4 days later, this armed robbery with Mr. Huey takes place, and the suspect vehicle in that armed robbery is a black Mustang. We have pictures of Mr. Fleetwood and Mr. Huey together in Instagram. We have pictures of that black Mustang that we believe is the same Mustang used in both incidents. So there's some similarities between the April 22nd, 2019 armed robbery, which is 3 of our overt acts, or
The April which?
they are
20
85, 86, and 87.
The April 22nd with that Fleetwood is alleged to have perpetrated
Yes, Your Honor.
are overt acts.
85, 86, and 87.
Okay.
And then these overt acts happened 4 days after that armed robbery.
Okay, can we ask IT to figure out why we are having sound issues again, or do you already know? We just have cheap microphones. Okay. Okay, so
Hold on a second.
if these
to how they are attempting to somehow link, I guess, a Fleetwood case with Mr. Huey in terms of similarities, what we haven't heard is that this particular Mustang, we don't have a tag number for this Mustang. We don't have an identity of anyone who is allegedly driving this Mustang on this date that this Fleetwood case allegedly took place on. We don't even have evidence of who is supposedly driving a Mustang with respect to this incident concerning Mr. Huey. We don't have a year, make, and a model. We don't have. What we have here is that, that we have a black Mustang, a Ford Mustang. I guess that's their connection of black Ford Mustang. And somehow that's supposed to link to two armed robberies on different dates.
Okay, so in what this
You're
officer
welcome,
will be
Rosemary.
saying, what?
Investigated both
I was already
I was
investigating this
trying
other
to push
one,
it to the
and
part that I
noticed
wanted you guys to
Are
listen.
they both in the same area of town?
No.
No, so
So
ironically.
what are what would he be saying was similar?
Because when I say similarities, I mean the fact that Javon Fleetwood and Marquavius Huey are friends based upon
Okay.
Instagram,
All
based
right.
upon that. So in the armed robbery on April 22nd, 2019, Mr. Fleetwood arrives
And a black Mustang and gets out of the passenger side of it to go
Correct.
perpetrate the armed robbery.
and then
Okay,
4
what?
days later in the Buckhead community, a very similar black Mustang is involved in that armed robbery of Mr. Maynard.
And that Mr. Huey is
And Mr. Huey is driving that
alleged to have been the driver.
No, he's alleged to have been the perpetrator of that armed robbery.
And did he get out of the passenger side? Or does anybody know?
It's not alleged.
It's not. We
I'm sorry.
cannot tell from the surveillance video. What we know is the victim will say, "I saw and heard a black Mustang." We believe an individual in a yellow jacket, we believe to be Mr. Huey,
Okay.
is in that area. Then we have Instagram posts of Mr. Huey in a black Mustang that he is saying that he has possession of. That is his Mustang. He has about 2 or 3 pictures of himself in this black Mustang,
Okay.
all in and around the time of these 2 incidents. So circumstantially, Your Honor, Mr. Huey was never charged in the April 22nd, 2019 armed robbery, but the fact that this black Mustang is involved in 2 armed robberies very close in time with 2 individuals who associate with each other is what those similarities are.
And Judge. if I-
Okay, but in 85, 86, and 87, the state is only asserting that Fleetwood did these things, right?
Correct, yes.
Right. And then Judge, if I could just respond to the court's initial question regarding where is it alleged that these perpetrators in the Buckhead armed robbery, according to the witnesses on scene, the alleged victims, they're claiming that 2 individuals, that there was a driver of this Mustang, and they indicated that 2 individuals got out of the back seat of this Mustang and began to
Okay.
so to answer the court's question, there's no evidence or indication that Mr. Huey, again, was at this Fleetwood alleged armed robbery. There's no indication that Mr. Huey was driving a Ford Mustang at this Buckhead alleged armed robbery. I think all we have here, Your Honor, is a black Ford Mustang that is alleged to have been involved in 2 armed robberies in 2 different parts of town. There's no evidence or indication that Mr. Huey was involved or part of this.
Okay, but there is Instagram from Mr. Huey's Instagram that shows him to be claiming ownership of a black Mustang.
Yes.
Well, there's
Okay.
there's Instagram photograph that shows Mr. Huey in a photograph with not only a black Ford Mustang, with an Infiniti, other vehicles. There is an Instagram photograph with Mr. Huey being in the same photograph with a Mustang. Yes, but there is no evidence that Mr. Huey owned
Okay,
a black
well,
Ford Mustang.
He
Yeah.
was around, had access to.
But in terms of the connection,
So
I think it's
this
tenuous.
investigator is going to say what? Was he already investigating the April 22nd one?
Yes, he was assigned the April 22nd armed robbery, 2019. He was assigned the April 26th, 2019 armed robbery. And interestingly enough, he ended up investigating the October 1st, 2020 armed robbery. So
Okay.
he investigated all three armed
And so
robberies.
he's just going to say, so he's going to be testifying about both of those armed robberies at the same time.
Yes,
Okay. When he's on the stand.
yes,
And he's going to say a black Mustang was used in this one.
yes,
And then he's going to say a black Mustang was used in this one.
yes.
That's it.
Okay. Well, I mean,
I don't
he can
see how
say
that's-
both of those things.
I don't see how that's, again, Your Honor, I just would argue for our purposes that the connection is not enough, and under
What do
my-
you mean is not enough? I mean, I don't think he's not gonna say, so I think Huey was also involved in the Fleetwood armed robbery, is he? Okay, well
Right,
then,
he's not going to say that. He
he
can't
is
say
not
that.
going to say that.
Can't say it.
Correct.
Okay.
So does that wrap up the issues for this?
For us,
Okay.
yes.
All right. So is there anything else about Henderson's potential testimony that we need to sort out now? Or that we can sort out now?
I think we're okay, Judge.
Okay. All right. So I will.
Yes, we get ready to go back to the GPS,
All right. And then next.
the chase.
And Your Honor, I have.
Okay, now this is where we need you guys to focus on. I think it's time, y'all. I think it's 6:06. Oh, it's almost there. It's almost there, y'all.
Okay.
Your Honor, the
6:00.
state will not introduce that act unless and until we determine whether or not Mr. Zachary was in possession of that gun
Okay.
prior to this date of
All right.
September
Thank
30th.
you.
6:01.
Can you repeat that number again?
It was witness number 7, basically, or 6 and 7, I guess, unless they can confirm that Mr. Zachary was in possession of the gun
Understood.
prior to that September 30th, then they won't do that act. All right. The next thing we were going to circle back on was witness 71, which is Viverito.
There it is.
There had been some question about exactly the scope of the court's exclusion of a chase or parts of a chase or something about a chase.
Okay, I want to tell you a little bit about Benverino. Benverino is the person that basically is the wrap-up person. She is the person that's going to wrap everything up. Supposedly, she knows everything about these cases. So she's like a dentist. She's the, dentist was the person that had all the keys to the answer to certain things. She is the other one. So she's one that the state is counting on to be their strength in their case at chief. All right. So listen.
And I thought y'all were gonna let me know either what trial day that occurred or what actual calendar date that occurred, so I could go back and look. Did anybody get a chance to do that?
Well, we were searching, Your Honor, and there are a lot of days here, and we have not been
There
able
are
to
a lot of
track
days here.
exactly what day that took
Okay.
place.
Your Honor, and we
Remember
recall
that?
that this court excluded, and we cut those witnesses. The court excluded Mr. Huey for the October 20th armed robbery, was arrested a year later. And the court said that that was too remote in time for him to know that he was.
Yeah,
And so we cut those witnesses.
Okay.
I mean, investigator Viverito was not going to testify today.
okay,
So
because
those witnesses are cut.
okay, so then Viverito
So that
is not gonna be dealing with social media video of Huey showing people in jail the car he purchased, which is the same used in the high-speed chase?
if the social media video comes in, we will not talk about the fact that that was involved in the chase.
Okay. So
Our concern.
for what other purpose would the social media video come in?
I need to look at it again and see if he is associating with anyone else, but outside of that, it wouldn't.
Okay, so this probably would not come in.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay.
All right, here we go. We
All
still
right,
got a few
so
minutes.
that was all we needed to circle back on those.
Your Honor.
Yes.
Did talk to the state yesterday concerning witness number 66.
Okay.
And I think the state indicated that they were going to take my basis for indicating how this particular information would come in. It says it's a jail call that we're talking about. If you look over in the right column, in the far
Yeah.
right column,
Okay. Yes.
and if you look at what's indicated in the parentheses,
Uh-huh.
I had a conversation with the state concerning that fact, and that they could not play that particular information through any other witness other than witness number 66. And they indicated they understand my basis for that evidentiary objection and that they will consider that. Did I get that right, prosecutor?
All
Yes,
right,
Your Honor,
and
we
so-
intend to introduce it through Ms. Stanley.
Okay, so we can cross out the parenthetical.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for
Thank
bringing
you.
that to my attention.
Thank you.
So on each of these crime scene techs that are the planters people, well, and frankly, all of the crime scene techs from here on out, this jury's already heard lots of crime scene techs. And y'all have assured me that these people are gonna take a very short amount of time.
The Lancers people, yes.
Yeah, so I just want to make sure that you do not plan to have an entire, like, where have you worked throughout your entire life and what's your education and blah, blah, blah. And what do crime scene techs do? And know that what crime scene techs do. And frankly, all we really need to know is on whatever date I worked for APD or whoever it is. And I was a crime scene tech, and then move straight on to the condensed version in testimony about whatever it's showing.
Yes, Your Honor, we put
Okay.
that in when we gave those times yesterday.
Super, thank you.
All right, here we go. This is it. I've been waiting for this for the longest.
All right, I'm gonna look back through my notes to see what else we might have needed to still be circling back on. And y'all, unless y'all know of something already that we can do right now.
And I'm sorry, Your Honor, I didn't mean to cut you off. We got the my colleagues were able to get the GSP video. That
Okay.
This work, I'm about to double check, but if we need to circle back to the.
That 5 minutes? Okay, why don't we go ahead and watch that?
All right, here we go. Here we go, guys.
Judge, why don't you like to address the overt acts, the basis?
What now?
Why don't you like to you want to know what can we address now? Why don't you like to address the state's position that they can use overt acts which are not in the indictment solely to support the conviction? When would you like to review that?
So unfortunately, I have not been able to read yet y'all's briefing on that. So not yet.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, but thank you. And you know that on the intrinsics, because you were involved in that,
Yes, I've
that
read.
those have all been ruled on. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, pay attention, y'all. Pay attention the next few minutes. Like CMT said, put on your investigation eyes and ears. Listen. Listen. Thank you, Tally.
Your Honor, just to orient, this is that same chase that's on the helicopter, but on the ground.
Okay.
And we can watch both.
Where?
Let me get out the way.
I don't know what the objection is, but
I think he couldn't see it, right? So he just wants to see it. Well, I mean, I hadn't seen it either, so you're just watching it now, right?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, and it's, go ahead.
And we're playing, the state is seeking to play from beginning to when the gun is handed over, correct?
correct. And based on the other ruling, some was made short, but we'll play to that portion
Okay.
now so the court can see it.
And do we need the sound? Yeah.
Where?
Y'all are gonna want this sound, right?
Where?
Was there a warrant out at the time? So are these people trying to get to where the Audi is?
So the Audi is, so what happened is a number of details come into how we can apprehend the individual.
Trying to get there. Yeah, I mean, is there an Audi in?
That's how the helicopter's calling out over radio.
Right. So these are officers who are like, oh, I can help with this chase. Let me get to this area.
Yeah, so now he's directing them to where they are now.
Right. Okay. And so why would it be relevant?
We can get
We're just watching it all now, but this part is not anything you're going to offer. Right? Okay. Can you skip to the part that? Okay. Those GSP cars go fast. This is not a chase, but it's definitely high speed.
There was a gun back there. There was a gun in the street. I'm gonna go back and get it. Boulder Way and Meadowlark. Meadowlark, the west Meadowlark. Meadowlark, running off foot.
And do we know whether this is the same route that the Audi took?
yes, because the Audi is, we know from the helicopter, this is the same with the Audi.
Y'all get that gun? Huh? Did y'all get the gun?
Okay, this is the thing I don't understand. How did they see the gun being thrown out the car where I don't even see the car? Did y'all see the car?
Through the fence to the right of the house, Reveal. It was in the street.
The house where the people are apprehended is on this street.
Somebody get over to Ford Drive. That's where it comes up to. Where
Is this officer going to testify?
Tony, you out there? Could you give an update?
that gun is significant because
Do
Okay,
we
but we
see the
didn't-
gun on the camera ever? Okay, let's skip to that part.
Numbers on motorway.
I do.
I don't know yet. I think I'm told. Did they say they tossed the gun? But this is the gun. They're on around the curve.
All right.
I don't know what they want me to do with it. Right there with it.
People who said I saw a gun get tossed or what?
no, we believe, and we just don't have this because they switched radios, but the first officer is an East Point officer who eventually a police officer was able to get directly behind the Audi. That was Captain Glover. from the
Where's
East Point
his
Police
buddy?
Department.
Where's his
He
car
does not
cam?
recall now, so we can't bring in. We believe on radio someone said they tossed the gun.
Okay, but
However,
y'all don't have that evidence and he can no longer recall.
remember that. So what happens is by
He
the
can't recall,
time
y'all.
he gets around Trooper Campbell, he sees the gun in the middle of the road, he picks it up, he gives it to APD. That gun is eventually ran. It comes back to the girlfriend of Mr. Stillwell, Miss
What's good?
Alexander.
Y'all heard that? Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? Let me rewind it a little bit for y'all. Let me rewind it for a little bit right here. Let's do it right here. Let's do it.
I do.
I don't know yet. I think I'm told. Did they say they tossed the gun? But this is the gun. They're on around the curve.
All right.
I don't know what they want me to do with it. It's right there with it.
People who said I saw a gun get tossed or what?
No, we believe, and we just don't have this because they switched radios, but the first officer is an East Point officer who eventually a police officer was able to get directly behind the Audi. That was Captain Glover from the East Point Police Department. He does not recall now, so we can't bring in. We believe on radio someone said they tossed the gun.
Okay, but
However,
y'all don't have that evidence and he can no longer recall.
remember that. So what happens is by the time he gets around Trooper Campbell, he sees the gun in the middle of the road, he picks it up, he gives it to APD. That gun is eventually ran. It comes back to the girlfriend of Mr. Stillwell, Miss
What's good?
Alexander. And then that gun, there's a knife in hit to shell casings that are found on March 16th, 2022 that we confirmed.
So did you hear? There's a knife and hit, meaning you know how those ballistic thing that tells you whether or not the gun was used in something else, some other crime and everything. That so they say there was two shell casing that they found during in March 16th, and that gun was one of the shell casing that it came from. Okay, and this is something that happened on Water Street. I think that's the name of the street that it supposedly they had a shootout, but they're saying that that gun was used during that because it was two shell casing from that gun. Okay.
So that's
Okay. All right, Mr. Sharp.
I missed that last part. The knife and hit is
sure. So it appears on March. From the evidence we gathered from the shooting on March 16, 2022, where we believe individuals from the opposition gang shot at the house, there was returned fire. Some of the shell casings matched this
Okay.
gun found in the middle of the street.
All right. And all right, having now seen the video, is there
So,
objection?
my objection is with the audio, the commentary. I mean, because it seems to me, I'm trying to place this together.
guys, that particular supposedly shootout had nothing to do with drinks. It's 2 days different. It has nothing to do with drink, but they just trying to say basically there was some retaliation stuff going on, and that gun was used, and that's the same gun they picked up at that high speed chase.
I can't remember his rank, but Glover, my recollection of his testimony, and this is when we had the prior judge, he testified in some sort of, I think it was a motion to suppress. My recollection is he specifically said he personally did not see anyone throw anything from the car.
Okay.
Because he was the closest person. There seems to be some rumor, like Ms. Hilton was saying, that something was seen thrown out the car, but there's no identifiable source to that rumor.
Okay.
So to the extent that the audio includes discussions about who saw them throw this out the car, I would object to those discussions.
Okay, so I do think that last part where he walks up and is saying, "Hey, did anybody say that?" needs to come out. But this officer says on the radio, "I saw them toss a gun," or no, he didn't. I'm sorry. "I see a gun on the street. I'm going to go back and get it." Are you objecting to that audio?
I believe he's testifying, so he could testify to such.
Okay. And what would the state's response be?
He is testifying, so we can ask him, or we can say, is everything captured on the body cam video? We can say yes.
Okay, that would be fine, but can we don't need all of that lead in beforehand where they're getting to the relevant place. So if you want to just, pick it up right before he sees that, and then it's fine to go back to here and show him, get it, and have it in the bag. Okay, so a shortened version with that last part of the conversation redacted. Okay. So we have still not sorted out that one wiretap that was the 2119.
Okay, I'm going to play what they did last week and listen to what they said last week. Hold on. I do not own the rights of this. This belongs to Law and Crime. Fair. What is that thing called? Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act in 1976, allowance is made for the fair use for the purpose of criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. So that's what it is. This is Law and Crime's piece of item. So we are going to review it. Here we go. We're going to put it to the side over here. And now listen to what they said on this one here. This is last week. All right.
I think then we go back out to the beginning of this link, Dropbox link, and we'll move on to the folder that says iPhone 13. And within that folder, there are 5 subfolders. Shall we just start with audio files at the top?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
May I make a suggestion?
Uh-huh.
Maybe, I believe that there's going to be three more 3 more chats.
Okay.
Maybe just go through.
Yeah, that's fine. All right, so down to the the first of the Shannon Stillwell iPhone 13 subfolders. Do we know who he's talking to here?
The first is Taisha, Your Honor?
Yeah.
Yes, Your Honor. At the time, that was Mr. Stillwell's girlfriend.
Miss Alexander.
Yes.
Okay. Any objection? And I guess the relevant part and starts on what page? 28?
Yes.
All right, so, and I guess we'll see whether there's an objection to, or rule of completeness objection on this one or not, because it looks like if we look at the kind of summary sheet, it's that first page where she's saying whatever she's saying and he's saying whatever he's saying back. Mr. Shard, is there an objection to that? And do you want the entire 28 pages in, or do you just want there to be some sort of an indication through whomever this comes in with? There was other chit chat, but here's the relevant part of it and we condensed it.
I would like the context and I believe the state has done this, but to the extent that that hasn't been done, there is, and I get it. There's talk about the rental, extending the rental, all of these things. I don't have a problem with that. My concern, and I've articulated to the state, and I think they've addressed it, is that there was a lot of sex talk, and things of that nature, and any references to the unrelated case of Miss Alexander making accusations against Mr. Stillwell in Cobb County, which was, Miss Alexander was trying to straighten things up with what really happened with the investigators to withdraw that warrant at that time. And so that's in the conversations, but
Is that within the first 28 pages?
it appears to me that the state has redacted it.
Okay.
You, Allie, you funny.
Okay, so the state will publish this. Well, I guess we'll seek the admission of the first 28 pages.
Yes, sir.
And is there an objection to that? Assuming that the 2 items you just mentioned have been redacted out.
There is, yes.
Okay.
On page 8, I almost,
So far, you're hearing the text messages and you heard about the gun. So those are the 2 reasons that they're trying to bring her in to testify this week. They're bringing her in for the phone, the text messages and that gun. Because remember, you heard Hilton says something about it. But let's go ahead and finish listening.
got this on page 8, there's some drug talk on the bottom. I would object to that.
So not the nachos, right?
No, not, the nachos are good.
Oh, I'm on the wrong page. Okay.
Nacho?
Sorry,
Addie.
on the wrong page.
Addie is the address, not the house.
Oh, okay. I
Nachos.
was reading things in the worst way possible.
Nachos, y'all.
My prosecutor, Mr. Sharp.
Don't say that.
That's me, Mr. Redacting.
Well, he's reading it like a cautious criminal defense attorney. Okay, so no objection to this 28 pages. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
Okay. Then we'll
Thanks,
look at the
Pete.
next folder.
My trolls back there. My trolls. You know, they stay in the bushes and watch us. I love my Stanley Cup. You know I do, y'all.
Who's he talking with this time? Do we know?
I believe it's another female.
It's a paramore.
Another female.
And
Important part about it.
is that he deleted his Instagram?
He's talking to another female.
Okay.
Ooh, you naughty boy.
The day after, or
You naughty boy. How many females he talking to? Let me stop being bad.
Well, may I just have a
Mm-hmm.
He's like Cavella, player. He's like you, Cavella,
Right.
player.
My understanding, based on the conversation with Miss Alexander, is that
Uh-oh. Miss Alexander? That's the ex-girlfriend that's coming? Ooh, child. Ooh, child. Okay, let's hear what the conversation's like. Because, you know.
Can I come back to that? I honestly didn't realize that that was the state's point of this one. And I think I'd like to talk to the state about it.
Okay, we'll come back to that one. So moving on to the third file.
Look. Didn't Woody say he was the pretty boy? Woody said he was the pretty boy, didn't he? Becky!
I believe.
Hold on. Becky! There it is right there. Y'all, look what Becky said, Sylvia. That's why they wouldn't let them get married, because if she was married to him, she couldn't testify against him. Booyah! Booyah! There it is. There it is, Becky. Thank you, Becky. Thank you. There it is. There it is right there. There it is. Bingo. There it is. 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 They would refuse to let them get married because of that, because they were supposed to get married. Good question. I don't know, Blue Skies. I don't know. Wow, that is so fed up, but it's long run. They did her a favor. So, do you think what I said yesterday could possibly be correct of what I said? Let me put the light on my face. Hold on, it's getting dark in here. Do you think what I said yesterday kind of possibly be something that we could think about? You remember what I said? That is allegedly possibility, y'all. This is for entertainment purposes. I don't know anything. I don't know for the facts, but I am just putting out some speculation. Just like they've been speculating. All these cases have been speculation, right? So I'm putting some speculation in my thought process and idea, right? Is it possible that they're the one behind this whole leak, this supposed marriage leak, because they're trying to get the ex to be upset like a scorned woman? And so thinking that she's going to come in and lay it all out, because remember, she was taken off the witness list. Now she's put back on the witness list. She was taken off. Do you think there's a possibility that this is what's happening right now? Speculation. We're only speculating here. There's no concrete evidence or anything like that. Speculation. You hear me? Speculation. And then you bring her right now when she was off. They refused to allow them to get married last year around, what was it? In January, February last year. They've been together. She's been with him prior to him being arrested. And they've been a long time relationship. So they wouldn't let them get married. She probably been catfishing all that time. She'd be out in the courtroom. Yes, Sylvie, because she tried to get you to help her. Yeah, we went over there to the thing and pick up the marriage certificate and everything. We did. All right, let me go ahead and play this. Okay.
And I don't know how the mechanics of the phone work, but I believe that this is a duplicate of the BM conversation that was in the other phone.
That's correct.
That I think the state withdrew. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
So are y'all withdrawing this one also?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So where to next?
There's the iPhone notes is very quick.
Okay. What is this showing? And is there any objection?
My understanding is that the facts, as they come out, will reveal that Mr. Stillwell was in the studio. This is a lyric that was put in like the notes section of his phone, like I can remember something or something like that.
Uh-huh.
And I believe the facts will show that he was at the studio at that time.
Okay, let me clarify this. This is Tunia. You said, how can they stop them from getting married? Was he married already? No. They call each other husband and wife, but they were not married. She was his fiance. They were engaged. So when I first talked to her and she introduced herself, she told me she was his spouse. But then she told me she was they call each other spouse, but she is his fiance. And then we started talking and she said that they were getting married. And she said she wanted to make sure she was married to him to handle all his things just in case something happened. So, hey, Kobe.
Can you first stay in here? He been running around outside. I can't even.
Oh, Kobe, behave. I'm sorry. So that's where that confusion went, because when I did my live that time, I announced her as his spouse because that's what she told me, but she wasn't. She was just engaged to him. All right. So I just want to answer. You smell like wet dog, man. You smell like a wet dog. Sorry. Talking to Kobe. He smells like a wet dog. He's wet.
So I'm going to object relevance in 403 and hear from the state.
Your Honor,
Mhm.
Mr. Shard is correct in terms of the state does believe he's at the studio. The state included this because this is March 15th at 12:52 a.m. So the murder we believe was March 14th at around 10 o'clock, 10:02 p.m. And so a couple hours later, while at the studio, this is just a note that, just like what Mr. Shard said, he typed, like you can make an Apple note to yourself to save. And the second line says, poor little ops, which state believes is opposition gang members, look how they're just dropping. So the state believes, and then jury confer what they want, that this is relevant because roughly
Dude,
almost
that noise.
a
Your
little shy
mama
of
said
3
stay
hours
here.
later, he's in the studio making music, and he's writing a line that the state believes is about 3 hours after a murder of a opposition member.
And the line is poor little ops look like they're dropping.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. I don't see that anywhere on there, but I assume.
It's on the right side, Your Honor, under details, where
Oh, there it is.
And-
Okay.
this specific one, it's a screenshot from the XRY system. So the left is all the messages, and if you
Okay.
click one, it opens it on the right.
Thank you. All
Yes,
right.
Your Honor.
What's the objection?
Relevance in 403.
All right. Overruled.
Can I just ask a question?
Sure.
Logistically, when the state introduces this, now that it's been ruled admissible, like, are we gonna show this whole sheet with all this other stuff? Are we just gonna?
No, we will just show that note, Mr. Shard.
Okay, and then someone will be able to explain where it came from in his phone and all that.
Correct.
Going out.
And that it's while he's in the studio.
Well, him being in the studio part would come from the person discussing the cell phone extraction won't be able to say, where there's other evidence about his location, because it's a little unique because you have an ankle monitor, you have cell phone records, and you have the wiretap. But yes, Your Honor, which sometimes.
Okay. So that takes us to the audio files, I guess. Yes, let's take a quick restroom break.
Okay, now it's a break. Now they're going to do a break. But now you see what they're trying to bring her in for. So bring those two things in. The gun that was supposedly thrown out the car, supposedly was registered to her. But here's the deal. The gun was given back to her. So because it wasn't in any type of like M-word unaliving or anything like that. The only thing they saw is the shell casing from that, but they don't have anything that's connected or any body connected to that gun. So she was able to get her gun back. You get what I'm saying? Capiche? Okay. All right. So this week should be very, very interesting, y'all, because you got Viverino coming in, and you got her coming in, and you got Sumlin coming in. Obama, he's coming in, and you know all the stuff that they have against Obama, right? I think I have my little paperwork on there. Let's see something. Hold on. They have a lot of stuff holding over Obama's head. One of the things they have is that the what's the name? The shoplifting. Remember, they have shoplifting over his head. And then the other thing too is they have, I'm not going to even mention it, but they have where you're not supposed to be connected with somebody. That's part of the case, right? Right, y'all? And what has he been doing? What have you been seeing on social media? What have you been seeing on social media, you guys? They trying to get a win, and they try to do it by any means necessary. Thank you. There you go. There you go. Right there. There you go. You got it right there. And they're gonna remember they put a motion there to revoke his probation. Remember they put that in there, and the judge has not addressed that. So y'all. Yeah. Yeah, Sheila. Yeah, exactly. You guys been watching a lot of stuff that's happening. This is what they're doing. And let me tell you, one of the jobs that these people have, like Vin Verena, her job is to sit in this chats. And she probably one of these people that's sitting in here listening to what is being said, listening to us, because their job is to find crime going on. They'll pick and see a name in here and say, oh, it might be this person that's in part of this case. You understand what I'm saying? So their main job is to watch the social media, lazy policing. They don't do the real work anymore. Social media is giving them all the way out to get, That's it. Come on now. Y'all know what have you guys been hearing on this case? Everything has been through social media. Everything has been through social media. The bulk of their case is through social media. Either some not text message, either some videos or some posting on Twitter, IG. The whole case is based on social media. They're not doing real police work. The real police work, they're not even doing that. Just like we can go and look at that video and see there was a third car. And how come the officer, the investigator, could not, Investigator Hogan, whatever his name is, did not see the third car? It's crazy. Tuna, you're right. It's crazy. That's crazy. They spend all their time looking at this stuff here, looking at entertainment purposes type of stuff. Because you see, I just speculated. Nothing I said is factual. You get what I'm saying? So that's what they use in their cases, doing stuff, watching people that do things like entertainment purposes, act like there's a beef with each other on social media so they can, you know what I mean? So they can sell records and stuff like that. That's what they should be doing, Sheila. Figure out who's driving that third car. Let me go ahead and put an invite in here for you guys to come on in and have a conversation, because I'm finished with the videos. I'm finished with the video. I'm just waiting for tomorrow, y'all. I'm waiting for tomorrow. I won't be surprised when stuff be dropping. And the person walking, yeah, Tammy. Thank you so much, Kimmy. Do you think the state is trying to wrap up the case before Trump comes into? Kimmy, Trump can't do anything with this case. This is a state case. Sure, the federal government can't touch the state, but maybe because he's going to come after her, do some investigation on Fani, on that team. He could do that. He can investigate him because they use federal funds. They can investigate her. I saw the post on TikTok where Obama hinted he will go sit down if he has to do that. What I look from it anyway. Would he look from it anyway? Yeah, I can't wait till tomorrow. I can't wait till this deliberation and it comes back not guilty. Trump only can do federal. Yeah, Ella, he can only do federal, but since they got federal funding, the DA office got federal funding, he can come in and they can do some charges on the if the money has been misused. Me neither. I haven't either. Drea, I haven't seen any real evidence. I've seen social media. I've seen speculation. I see stuff that we're doing here. Hey, J-Town. He looks like a funny. He is. Look out. Yeah, he's gonna come out. He's coming after her. Trump is gonna come after her. You know he is. He's making his mission to come after them. And if they got federal funding, they did get federal funding. Lord, they done Paul, that man, watch for the funding. Yeah, they got federal funding. I'm telling you, he's coming after them. He gonna send that agent down and make sure. And you remember, they do an investigation with the state anyway. The state's been doing an investigation on that. The state, come on, why do you think Ashley's been on it? She's been like hopping on it, asking for those what do you call it? Public record. You know, what is that thing called? What is that thing? Freedom of information. You know, Trump already stated he's coming after her and spoke about this case. Yeah, he's coming. He's coming after her. He can't do anything about this case, but he can do something about open records. Thank you. Thank you, Sheila. Shilea. Yeah, he can do something about the money and they might start maybe because they could somehow start the ball rolling if they find something that was done illegally. I don't know. There might be a way. I don't know. I'm not speculating on that one too much. Oh, okay. Let's go ahead on. Thank you, CMT. That's my secretary. She said the judge may order a direct verdict if they determine that there is no reasonable basis for a juror to reach a different conclusion or certain charges. On certain charges. People interact and DOJ gets involved. They can get involved. Yep. Department of Justice. Especially if it comes out, if they say their rights were violated. Oh yeah, they could come in. They can sure come in because your right is a federal thing. They can come in if it's federal. Your human rights is a federal law. YH Doug was tickling about requests for a direct verdict. Oh wow. All right, if anybody would like to come up, you guys want to talk about what I just talked about, but she's not going to dismiss all the charges since she's already found factual basis for RICO. The charges would probably stand for the last two. What about the missing march? I don't think they're going to address that. That's going to be a civil thing. Jeffrey didn't have a RICO, and what's his name didn't have a RICO. What's his name? Nichols didn't have a RICO on his either. Jeffrey didn't have RICO. I stay in the bushes. I'm cooking chops with gravy, broccoli, and sweet potato. Ooh, Sheila. Ooh. Do you think it will be a not guilty verdict? As far as the murders, definitely not guilty. Definitely not guilty on the murderers. I don't know what other charges. I can't remember the other charges they have. I think they might have gun possession of a felon. That probably something they could get them for, and that's probably what they're gonna go for, because if they find out, if they bring the girlfriend in to testify and she say that's her gun, and they were in a relationship, they're gonna say, oh, how did the gun get over there? When only possible way of it going there, the car was being driven by him, the gun supposedly was thrown out, then they could put the gun charge on him. And remember, they did that. They requested recidivist, where they're gonna increase they're gonna increase the sentencing to a larger, at least 15 years. So remember, that's what they requested when this trial first started, that they would give them the maximum. So we'll see. At least it's not the 44 years that they were trying to give them as a plea deal. Remember, the plea deal was pretty high, 45 years or something like that. Direct verdict can be given from the judge on certain charges. She can send the other charges back to the jury for deliberation. It will have to be explained to the jury's instruction. Probably the murder, the Donovan part probably will probably be a direct verdict type of thing. I've been on the wrong channel the whole time. Yeah, it's okay. This will probably charge them with count 1. I don't see a RICO. I see people doing their own thing. I don't think the jury's going to do a RICO. Definitely, I don't think the jury's going to do it. Well, I don't know. I'm just speculating. I'm speculating, guys. I'm speculating. I wonder if Young Thug has watched the trial since, but I doubt it. Well, he's only been out since Thursday, and Friday there was no court. Thursday would be the only day that he would had to watch, but there's been no court. No real court. He was out on the 31st, right? That was Wednesday. And Thursday was out. And I doubt he did any of that watching. And Friday there was no court. And tomorrow will be the first day. If it was much of a RICO, they wouldn't have agreed to letting Jeffrey free of RICO. Yeah, then true. I think. Hey guys, we will be starting to talk about Jeffrey's brother's case. I'm gonna bring that to you guys. We're gonna start talking about that because that is the next case that I will be working on. Yeah, I will be working on his case. And I'm thinking that other half of the group is gonna probably take plea deals. I don't think they want to go through this. I think they're gonna take plea deals. The other defendant, the other 12. How many is it again? CMT? I think it's 12. Well, 11, because one of them is they probably take plea deals. They probably give them better plea deals than what they gave them back in June, because they gave them some horrible plea deals back in June. They probably give them lower sentence. It's more than 6 left, Tally. More than 6. I'm trying to figure out the I know one is on the run. CMT knows it. Okay, there she go. She got it for me. Update: 28 indicted, 2 on trial now, 12 plea deals, 1 on the run, and 1 on bond, 10 for next trial swing. Wouldn't that be, hold on, wouldn't that be 11 if 1 is on the run? If it's 12 plea deal, oh no, that's 12 plea deal. Okay, so 12 minus that, that's 14 left. CMT, you got the numbers wrong. We got the numbers wrong. $12 plea deal. So you take 28 from 12 is 14, right? No. 16. 16, right? I thought it was. I know CMT usually keep it on the money for me. I thought it was 11. Who's on the run? Cobb. Cobb is on the run. Justin Cobb. Yeah. 28 minus 12 minus. I'm so confused with the count. I thought it was 12, but it's 11 in you, Enrique, because one of them's on the run. Because his is like a whole. Polo dropped from the trial, severed, no bond, no police serving life. Yeah. So she might be right. It might be Farley. Miles is on bond. Justin Cobb, he's one of those that was in part of the RICO. All right, here we go. She got it. Hold on. Here we go. She says, Adam, Blaylock, Bradford, Eppinger, Fleetwood, Garlington, Marlin, Mender, Myrick, Winfrey. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You forgot to put the young man down with the you forgot to put you didn't put Farley on here. You gotta put Farley. You forgot to put Farley on here, CMT. That's who you're missing. So it is 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold on. I'm confused. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, you got to put. No. No. I was talking about all of them that's part of this next case. Yeah, but he's part of the next case. He's part of the next case. I saw him at court when they were doing the hearing. He was at court. So we got to put him on there. So it is 11. I was right. It is 11. Farley is still part of the trial, CMT. So it's 11. It would have been 12. Oh, I get what you're saying, y'all. Okay. It would have been 12 if we had Justin Cobb in there, but it's 11. It's 11 that's left. Yep. All right, guys, I'm about to go. We will be back. I need to start with the with Jeffrey's brother, so we're gonna talk about that. I'll be back with that information, so we can get that ball rolling. So when that trial starts, we'll be ready. It's not gonna be 6 and 6. It's gonna be all of them, according to Cobb is supposed to have been in jail in Washington somewhere, but they don't know where he's at. They can't find him. I think he was supposed to have been in jail in the West Side someplace. I believe that they're going to take a plea. I guarantee you, Judge Whitaker is going to try to convince them to take pleas to try to work something out, especially with the way this case went. I think they're going to go ahead and do plea deals. I really do. I'm serious. I really do. They're going to try to give them plea deals. I agree with you, Secret Whisper. That's why they're going to try to get them all some plea deals so they can get out of it. I think Roscoe's going to be the only one they probably going to drop the charges because they already worked on his, and his was already in overturned. You know what I mean? So because remember they said he had to do with the Lil Wayne bus shooting, but that got overturned. So, and Chris is already serving life. Eppinger, he's already serving life, so he's has nothing to do with it. This trial is a mess. I can't imagine another trial. It's legit evidence on the second. Yes, the second group is the ones that really has records. The only person, Farley, is the only one that I would say would probably have to go all the way to the end because he didn't have any kind of like record or anything like that. He was a good kid, graduated from college. He started his business making clothing line, and he just got caught up in there. So, all right, we're gonna go. And I will be bringing back Jeffrey's brother's case information for you guys. I just need a break. I need to eat something because, I do have to eat. I think it would be much faster with Whitaker and Betty on now. All right, y'all. I see you guys later. I'm trying to. Good night. See ya later. Okay, here's our song. Bye.
Locked away in a cell, far from home, just can't tell. Innocent or guilty, they claim. Justice a flickering flame. Family missing their sons. Every day's a heavy ton. Time to bring the boys home. Can't let them face this alone. Their justice needed now. Time to let them go somehow. D's got the key to the door. We can't wait no more. Psychotic Queen Lil Rock. Time is ticking, it's so wild. How we hold on to change when there's so much pain. Shannon Nichols, gang and thug. Families just wanna hug. Dreams shattered in a night, but we demand what's right. Fair justice needed now. Time to let them go somehow. He's got the key to the door. We can't wait no more.